Hello 7th graders, I miss you so much. Welcome back to our class. In today's class, we are in Unit 9, Skills, Student Book page 80, Workbook page 71, Homework, Speaking Students Book page 80. Make a video and send it to me. So, to start with, as you can see in the picture, we are going to talk about transportation. What can you see in this picture? We can see a taxi, a plane, bus, car, scooter, tram, bus. These are means of transportation. Now, let's talk about the different means of transportation. First of all, bicycle. It is usually for personal use. Some people ride bicycles to play sport. They consider it as a type of doing sport. Scooter. Scooter, it is a type of motorbike, but it is a small one. Tram, tram, it is a train, a type of trains, and you can find it in cities. You can move inside a city using a tram. Underground, it is a train under the ground. Train, as we all know, a train sometimes is used to move inside the country or from one country to another. Taxi. Coach. Coach, it is a type of bus, but it is a big one. It is a big bus. We call it coach. Then we have bus. Bus. Lorry, it is a huge vehicle that it is used usually to transport goods. Car, van, boat, ship. As you can see, a ship is bigger than a boat. Helicopter, it is a small plane and usually used for military purposes. A plane, it is a huge one. It is bigger than a helicopter, and it's used for transport people from one country to another. Now we are going to talk about the definition of the word transport. Transport, an action or a process of transporting, which means moving from one place to another. The verb is transport, noun is transportation, adjective is transportable. Here is a note for you. Don't forget that we can use several phrasal verbs when talking about transportation, such as go by bike, go by car, go by bus. We can say also get on a plane, get on a bus, get on a train, get in car, get in taxi, get off a bus, get off a plane take off, the helicopter take off. Now, I have here the key answer for your students book page 80, skills, exercise 2, where we have to classify the means of transportation into land, air, sea. Here is the table. Key answer workbook page 71, exercise number 1 and exercise number 2. Key answer workbook page 71, exercise 3 and exercise 4. Welcome again, dear students. Today we are going to start with Unit 10 with the title Just the Job. Your student's book from page 84 to page 85, your workbook page 76. Your homework is exercises 1 and 2 in your workbook page 76. Open your class book on page 84. Before reading, look at the pictures and answer the following questions. Where do you think the people are? What are the people doing? What do you think a gap year is? So before we read the text, I want you to try to answer this question after you take a look at the pictures. Before we start reading, we are going to discuss a new idea. It is new for us. We are going to talk about a gap year. First of all, what is a gap year? It is typically a year long break before or after college or university, during which students engage in various educational and developmental activities such as travel or some type of regular work. So, a gap year, it is a break that the students take after college or university, and it can be before a college and university. In this break, students engage with various educational, they can learn other languages, they can practice hobbies that they have. Also, they can travel or to do some type of regular work so they can have money to complete their education. So this is a gap year. What are the advantages of having a gap year? As you can see, we have 3 points: think, motivation, and experience. Think, it gives you time to figure out if your career path is right. So it gives you time to think about your career. Are you going on the right path or not? Also, motivation. It gives you a motivation to continue with higher education. So when you are engaged with educational developmental activities, or when you travel or do some regular type of regular work, you are going back to your college or to your university with a motivation to continue your higher education. And also, by engaging into educational and developmental activities or do some type of regular work or traveling, it gives you a chance to go through life experience. So you are going to gain a huge experience. I am reading the text in Student's Book, page 84. Gap years. This year, about 150,000 young people in the UK will take a gap year. A gap year is a break between school and university, or between school and starting work in a profession. For most young people, it will be a chance to travel and to have interesting experiences. So how do young people spend their time? A lot of students finance their gap years by working in the countries they visit, and some do voluntary work. Here are 3 young people who are going to do very different things. A. Next year I am going to study physics at university. Before then, I want to spend some time abroad and do something completely different. I've got a student work visa for Thailand and I am going to work at an animal rescue center for 9 months. It will be a demanding job. My responsibilities will be to help to look after the animals, and I'll also show visitors around the center. It will be a great experience. Jackie. B. Next summer, I am going to start a job at a sports center. It will be my first full-time job. But before that, I want to take a break and live abroad. And I found the ideal job for me with Gap Sports. I am going to live in Ghana in Africa for 6 months and work as a school basketball coach. It will be a really rewarding experience. As the company says, I won't just teach sport, I'll probably help with other lessons in school too. C. I am going to start work next October. It's an office job, a post in a bank. Before that, I want to spend a few months working with my hands outdoors. So I volunteered to work with a charity called Concordia. I am going to help to restore an old castle in the west of France. There will be 16 other young people from other countries, so it will be a great way to make friends and learn about other cultures. And it will be a great opportunity to practice my French too. Darren. So after we have read the text, now we are going to discuss it. At the beginning of the text, we have the definition of a gap year. How do people or young people finance their gap year? From where do they get money for their gap years? And also we have 3 examples for young people who are doing very different things in their gap years. In the first person that we are going to talk about is Jackie. So Jackie is a student who is going to study physics in university next year, but before starting studying in university he wants to do something different, so he has got a student work visa to Thailand, and he is going to work in an animal rescue center for 9 months, and he is very happy because he is going to gain a huge experience. In B, we are talking about Oliver, who is getting his first full-time job, and before that he wants to take a break. So he is traveling to Ghana in Africa. He is going to work as a school basketball coach. In C, we are talking about Darren, who is also getting a job as a post in a bank. But before that, she wants to work with her hands outdoors. So she volunteered to work in a charity, and she is going to help to restore a castle, an old castle in west of France. And also she is happy because she is going to practice her French too. So these are the 3 young people that are going to spend their gap years in a very different way. Now, after we have read and discussed the text, I want you to answer these questions. The first question is, what is a gap year? Number 2, what is the importance of a gap year for most young people? 3, how do young people spend their time in a gap year? What is Jackie doing in his gap year? 5, where is Oliver going to live during his gap year? 6, is Oliver a student? 7, what is Darren going to do with the charity? 8, is Darren learning a second language? So, read the text and answer these questions. Here is the key answer for the questions that we had before. Now let's talk about the vocabularies in the new vocabularies in our text, the highlighted ones in the text. As you can see, I have classified these vocabularies into verbs, nouns, and adjectives in the table. The verbs that we have finance, restore, and nouns we have profession, visa, responsibilities, coach, post, outdoor, charity, opportunity. Adjectives we have voluntary, full-time, ideal, rewarding, demanding. Now, let's take a look at the definitions of these vocabularies in exercise number 1 in your vocabulary. First of all, match the highlighted words in the text with these definitions. So I have the definitions and we are going to match with the words, the highlighted words in the text. Number 1, I have to provide the money for an event or activity. It is the word finance. To provide the money for an event or activity, it is finance. An official document that lets you enter or leave a country, it is visa. 3. Working the number of hours that people normally work every day, full time. To clean and repair something that is old and dirty, restore. A chance to do something, a chance. 5, a chance to do something, opportunity. 6, a person that trains someone in a sport, coach. 7, not in a building, outdoors. 8, work that is done for no pay, it is voluntary. 9, a job that needs special training and education, post. 10, giving pleasure or satisfaction, it is rewarding. 11, a job, profession, a job, profession. 12, needing a lot of work, time and energy, it is demanding. 13, the things you have to do in your job, responsibilities. 14, an organization that gives money and helps people, charity. The best for a person or situation, ideal. So here is the definitions for the new vocabularies. You can find them in page 85 in your student's book, vocabulary exercise 1. I am moving to your student book, page 85. Here is the key answer for exercise 2 and for the vocabulary exercise 1, and pay attention that exercise 1 is very important in the vocabulary in your student book, page 85. Exercise 1 in vocabulary is very important. Here is the key answer for exercise number 2. Then I want you to move to your workbook, page 76. I have the key answer for exercise 3 and exercise 4. Don't forget that exercise 1 and exercise 2 in your workbook, page 76, are a homework. This is it for today. I hope that everything is going well. I hope that you are and your family are safe, and see you soon.